95.9 FM. This is your girl, Rachel Hill, the First Lady of Sports, and I am here with my guest co host, Mr. Willie Epting Jr. What's up, sir?
Yo, 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 Cleveland. It is game week between the Vegas Raiders
Your
and
favorite?
the Cleveland Browns. What's going on?
There's a lot going on right now, and hopefully that game can be moved, Willie, because right now you got about 8 Cleveland Browns players on the COVID list, and that's just not fair at all. It's not fair at all.
There's all's fair in love and football and for
I,
the love of football.
I ain't trying to hear that. And you got super important people on that list too, such as Jarvis Landry, Wyatt Teller, Jedrick Wills, Austin Hooper, Wyatt Teller. Oh, Wyatt Teller's listed twice. Tack McKinley, and some others. I'll get the rest of the names. But this is disastrous.
Well, let's see. Jarvis has been out. He spent some time on the injured list this year, so they know what it's like to play without him. I'm thinking Wills has been out at some point too. Am I right? Am I right when I say that?
That is correct. He has been.
Okay, so they know how to play without him. Austin Hooper is inconsistent enough to where I don't think they will miss much. However, and I say that because he's on my fantasy league team, and he actually got me a few points this week.
Yeah, he actually had a decent game.
Yeah, and then of course Njoku's out for the year.
Wait, what?
Isn't Njoku out for the year?
No.
Oh, he's not? Who's out? Oh, you know who I'm thinking about? I'm thinking about Logan Thomas from the Washington football team is out for the year. I knew it was one of those great tight ends, but anyway, Njoku, okay, he is the
leading receiver on the Cleveland Browns,
and considered the deep threat at tight end.
I know.
Tack, he spent some time on the injured list as well, too, correct?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so they know what it's like to play without all those guys. But you know what? It's the world that we live in a COVID world, and it may not even make a difference by the way that the Raiders have played the last 3 games. 2 games, really. This 2-game losing streak. So one of the things that the Browns can hang their hat on is that 1, it's a short week. 2, the game is in Cleveland. And 3, the Raiders I don't even know if their heart is still even in it anymore because of what happened in Kansas City. That was a thorough beatdown. And yeah, George B says hello. I think the Raiders got their appetizer, lunch, dinner, and snack. Who's the genius to meet on the KC logo? Great move. That was Yannick Ngakoue that started that, and he has been catching a lot of heat on Twitter, and I'm sure even in Vegas about this whole thing, it being his idea because he was the first one out there. Now, I did notice AJ Cole and Daniel Carlson, the 2 kickers the punter and the kicker, who just recently got extensions. They weren't so quick to run out there to that KC logo like the rest of them fools were. So I had said it 2 weeks ago. After the Washington football team beat us at home, I wouldn't be surprised if the Raiders didn't win another game this year. And I told you that on the last show.
Yeah, I do remember you saying that. But the Browns need this game. They have to have this game to keep their playoff hopes alive. Right now at 7-6, we look at teams that we consider to be beatable, and the Raiders is one of these on the list. The spread has changed. It was originally 7.5 points. I think it went down to 3.5. right now with all the COVID news that's came out. So Vegas has taken note of what is going on with this team. So this is a game the Cleveland Browns absolutely have to have. And despite what you think about your Raiders right now and what's going on with them, we all know that any given Sunday anything can happen. So, the Raiders could get up. They could get up for the Browns. They could be like, hey, we've had a terrible season. Our backs are against the wall. Because what is the Raiders' record? Is it 6-7?
Mm-hmm.
Well, there's still a chance too, right? You can
Yeah,
you can possibly make the playoffs at 9-8.
yeah. But I don't know where those next 3 wins are going to come from.
Who's left on your schedule?
The Browns.
Okay.
Denver.
Okay.
Not necessarily in this order, but the Browns, Denver, the Chargers, and the Colts.
All those teams are beatable on any given day.
I mean, any team is beatable on any given day.
And the Raiders started out really well. They started out undefeated.
Well, they sure are defeated now.
Yeah, I mean, not saying I'm rooting for the Ravens or not the Ravens, but the Raiders are standing for the Raiders. But anything can happen, and Derek Carr could come out there and throw out of his mind. We don't know. So I think that's the worrisome thing, is because Cleveland needs this game so bad to keep their playoff hopes alive.
Well, so do the Raiders, but I mean, the advantages for Cleveland are there. What's the weather supposed to be like up there this weekend?
I don't know. What is the weather supposed to be like? Right now, it's pretty warm for us. It's supposed to be 30, and I guess no, not cloudy, maybe 30 and cloudy. Not sunny, but it's supposed to be 30, 37 degrees. Yeah. The high is 37, so almost 40 degrees.
But the game is at night, right?
The game is at 4:30.
It's at 4:30.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
For a Saturday 4:30 kickoff.
So by the time, okay, well, that's my team, and I'm addicted. Hi, Willie. I am addicted to the narcotic that is the Las Vegas / Oakland / Los Angeles Raiders, and I need help. So I don't have a whole lot of faith right now in this team. I think what happened on Sunday when oh my God, I'm reliving it in my head. I every time I close my eyes,
I was gonna say, Kansas City and kind of got his groove back, which we knew probably would happen within time. You guys go up against them every year in the division, so you guys kind of know what you're facing, and they came on as of late. When they started out real terrible, so they're looking to return back to the AFC title game. So it's like,
yeah, whatever.
Kansas City in y'all division, AFC West.
I hate them.
I know, as you should, and the majority of the league hates them too. We hate them here too.
Yeah, and what's funny is that this is kind of on both sides of the fence when it comes to the Cleveland Browns. I need everybody out there that's listening and watching us on Facebook Live, as well as on that's hearing it over the radio station, over the airways in Northeast Ohio. I need you guys to go to the Shakeback Media Group YouTube channel and check out the interview that I did with Michael Hunter Jr. last night. Not only did he play one time for the Kansas City Chiefs, and also for the Denver Broncos, and also for the New York Giants. The New York Giants is who we signed with as a undrafted free agent coming out of Oklahoma State. He's now a defensive coach, assistant coach at Oklahoma State, and we talked about the game against Baylor and their game coming up against Notre Dame. But he's actually really, really, really tight with OBJ, real tight with him.
Who got COVID as well? He can't lead the Browns.
Yeah, and he's also still tight with a lot of those guys from the Chiefs. And I told him last night, I hate them. I said I think Tyrann Mathieu cheats because the ball always seems to find him. And I understand that he's from Louisiana. I understand that, of course, my boy is from Louisiana, and I'm from Louisiana to a degree, or to a big degree. But none of that matters when it's Raiders over everything. So when I told him that, I was like, man, is it really like that up there in Kansas City? He said, dude, this is an interview that I did with him a while back. He said the Kansas City organization is probably the best run organization in the NFL. Up there with the Patriots. It's probably the Patriots and then the Chiefs.
Well, that's good.
No, it's
And
not
the
good.
Cleveland Browns are one of the most dysfunctional organizations in the league. So I know what it's like to be on the receiving spectrum of being part of a bad organization.
Yeah, well, at least y'all don't have to face them twice a year. But anyway, back to Cleveland, man. I mean, I got some concerns. I got some concerns about the Browns. Is Baker really still that hurt? Because even though they won against the Ravens and I watched the show yesterday with you and Cleveland Kate. What up, Kate? That's my girl, man. She is so silly. I watched the show yesterday with you guys, and she talked about how she is so used to not putting a whole lot of faith in the Browns because of what has happened. I.e., the same thing that we as Raider fans go through, the same thing that Cowboys fans to a degree have gone through, and it's 100% correct. But my question is, can they really win this division with Baker playing like this?
If they do, it'll be a miracle, and I think a lot of people don't understand. We will not understand how it could possibly happen. That means that your run game has been on point and has carried you through. But Rex Ryan, and he has been very anti-Baker, and Rex Ryan absolutely does not think it can be done. And he said he's seen elite quarterbacks, and Baker Mayfield will never be one of those quarterbacks, so it's impossible to get done. Somehow we managed to make it to the playoffs with him last year.
I mean, he played great ball last year. I mean, this is his fourth year. So his rookie year, his rookie year was okay. I mean, I guess it was really good because he set the touchdown record at that point. He had 27 touchdown passes his rookie year, and then his second year, blah. Last year was really good. This year, blah. So he is an odd year quarterback. First and third year, he's done pretty well. Second and fourth, leaves a little something to be desired.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, how could he regress so much? I almost want to say he was even better his second year, as disastrous as that was, compared to this year. It almost seemed like it was better.
Well, what has changed as far as personnel groupings go with the Browns from year 2 to year now, or to now? That's funny. What has changed personnel-wise? I know OBJ is gone, but 2 years ago, OBJ kind of wasn't even really there. That's the year they traded for him, right? Yeah, the second year there. Of course, last year, we know what happened last year. But what has changed personnel-wise for him to look the way that he looks now?
Not that much, and that's a great point. Not that much has really changed. Pretty much OBJ, I think, getting Austin Hooper. I think Austin Hooper's first year with us was last year. Mm-hmm. So I think David Njoku has been here because he was drafted by the organization. Who was our other tight end? I can't remember all of a sudden. Oh, Harrison. Yeah. He was drafted here. So the only thing really changed with the tight end grouping was that Kareem Hunt, possibly coming, but that was in 2019. That was his second year. So Kareem Hunt being here. So the running back really hasn't, his line really hasn't changed, and they've even locked him up long term. So, the defense has changed a little bit by, free agent signings and stuff this year. I think only 2 starting defenders are back. So the defense has changed a little bit, but that doesn't affect him that much, but defense has played great compared to the offense, especially the other day. But you're right. Not much has changed for him.
So that bless you. I think
thank you.
This chick is sneezing on the air, y'all. It's all good though. I'm gonna hold it down while she get her sneezing fit out. So this is the situation that this is what the way I think of this situation. In the second year, The Browns, their expectations of what they were or what people thought they were going to do may have not been that high. But in the third year, they were very high. No, I'm sorry. The second year, they were, but in the third year, they were high because
I don't really think we had that many expectations though going into the third year.
Going into the second
year, going into last year.
But yeah,
that's the year.
Last year was third year.
I don't really feel like we had that many expectations. I think we had a lot of expectations that second year when you got OBJ and stuff like that. We had sky high expectations, Super Bowl, those types of expectations. And Baker came off of a great first season. Remember breaking the rookie touchdown record. So, there was a lot of expectations going in that season. And so go ahead. Sorry. But I don't really feel like there was that many going into the third year as it was second and this year.
And that's the point that I was trying to make. I just got my years mixed up. So when the expectations are placed on top of the Browns' head, when they got the price tag on their head, right? They underperformed. They have underperformed. In year 2, there were Super Bowl expectations. Year 4, there were Super Bowl expectations. Year 1, Baker played very, very well. Year 3, they were one defensive play from going to the AFC Championship. Both years, no expectations. Years 2 and 4, all the expectations in the world. So who does that fall on? Because when you look at it from the standpoint that we just talked about, not much has changed personnel-wise. If anything, they made additions with Hooper coming over. You side him with Njoku, and then you also have the upgrades on defense, even through the draft. Okay, so the change in the personnel was to upgrade everything around Baker from a talent standpoint, which we all agreed that was the case. But the performance hasn't measured up. So that may leads me to ask this one question: is Kevin Stefanski? Is he really the dude for this gig, man? Because when the expectations are heaped upon him, the team goes south.
That's a great question, and I'm going to answer that when we come back from break. We got to take a break really quickly. You're listening to Her in the Huddle on WOVU and 95.9 FM. We'll be right back.
WOVU 95.9 FM, a Burton Car community radio station. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome. You already know what it is. It's your boy DJ Chris Styles telling you right now a holiday gift card giveaway. Housewoman Dolores Gray and Burtonville Car Development Incorporated. Free $25 daily supermarket gift card to qualifying seniors 55 and older and families that live in Ward 5. That's free. Yes, I said a free $25 daily supermarket gift card to qualifying seniors and families that live in Ward 5. Gift cards will be distributed on a first-come, first-served basis. Must provide a valid government-issued photo ID and proof of address, no exceptions. The giveaway will take place Wednesday, December 15th, 2021 at 10 a.m. to 1 p.m. at the Cornucopia Place, 7201 Kinsman Road, Cleveland, Ohio, 44104. That's right next door to Burtonville Car. For more information, please contact Burtonville Car at 216-341-1455. That's 216-341-1455. People to ODU 5.9 FM at Burtonville Car Community Radio. Welcome to Her in the Huddle with Rachel Hill, the First Lady of Sports.
All right, welcome back to Her in the Huddle, WOVU and 95.9 FM. We'll take your phone calls at 216-271-0959. You can listen to us live on WOVU.org. You can download that WOVU app so you can listen to us on the go. But we also ask that you watch us on StreamYard. You can watch me on my Facebook page or the All Sports or Plays Network, and you can watch me and Willie right now talking to each other. Willie looking down, I'm rocking back and forth in my chair. You can watch us and interact with us. Willie, do we have anything in the chat?
Yeah, they said, why is Rachel rocking back and forth, and why is Will? No, okay, that didn't really happen. All right, okay, so we read this one from George B. George B. also says, "Hi, Rachel. I hope you're doing well." And then he also said, yes, not just. And then he says, not just the playoff race hopes, but AFC North hopes on the line Saturday. Since Lamar went down so far, and Lamar is likely going to play on Sunday. How effective he will be a different story. Sports and more, they said they should be able to take care of the Raiders. George B. also says at one time the Browns were dysfunctional. Now that's the Jets and the Lions.
No, the Browns are still dysfunctional.
I don't think the Browns are dysfunctional because
they are.
They've gone to the playoffs last year and have been knocking on the door of the playoffs within the last 4 to 5 years, whereas the Jets and the Lions and even the Giants, no way. And then Sports and More also says, I think Browns pride is hurt this year. OBJ helped with that. I don't know about that one.
Kareem's daddy was talking bad about Baker Mayfield too.
Yeah, but I mean, they've moved past that. Look at the wins they've had since then. They beat Cincinnati and they beat Baltimore since then. So, and they're 7-6.
They barely beat Baltimore. Barely. Even when Lamar Jackson went down, Tyler Huntley came in and looked like Lamar light.
Yeah, he did. Yeah, he did.
I was like, yesterday I was saying on the show, I thought that their backup quarterback was Trace McSorley. And I'm like, does he have on like those long sleeves? Because it was getting cold down there. Because I was actually at the game this time. And I'm like, hold on, because we got tickets like on the 30-yard line. And I'm like, that dude looked black. I was like, that's not Trace McSorley.
Yeah.
I'm like, he black. I'm like, who is that?
Trace McSorley, if I'm not mistaken, I think he's on the Raiders practice squad.
Yeah, but he used to be on the Ravens because remember week 14 last year when that epic shootout between the us and the Baltimore, he came out, remember, and Lamar came back out looking like a superhero. The camera watched, following him walk through the, run down the hallway as he come back and beat us. I'm like, that game was one of the best games ever of all time. But yeah, he the one who came out when Lamar was doing whatever he was doing back there. I don't know. But before we went to break,
what he was doing.
That's what everybody say, but I doubt it.
He was doing it.
They said he was getting fluids.
Okay. Yeah, he probably was getting rid of fluids at the same time. Solids, solids, liquid solids, and gas.
Y'all crazy, man. But whatever he did, it helped, and he came back out and beat us. But before we went to break, you asked me, did I think Kevin Stefanski was a person? Is it possible to give a yes and no answer?
I mean, you can
be mixed or confused about it.
You can give any kind of answer you want, because whatever answer you give, I'm going to have a follow-up question.
The answer is I don't know. Sometimes I think he is, and sometimes I don't. But what you watched in this season is you've watched the regression of this team. You've watched him as a regression as a coach. You've watched him in some situations make bad decisions. You look at the play calling and you like, why WTF? Why are we calling that play at that time? So there's a lot of cause for concern. Overall, do I think he's a good coach? Yeah. Last year he was a genius, coach of the year. I think he's a good coach, but I still think that there's a lot of things that he could work on to be better and not be out coached by other coaches.
So your answer is yes and no, but you had a lot of more no answers in there than yes answers. So here's my follow-up question to your answer. If a coach has shown that type of up and down behavior, shouldn't that tell you whether or not he's the guy or not? Because the regression has come in the times where the Cleveland Browns were expected to do big things. So, yeah, I understand that character is defined during adversity, but it's not always the case, because sometimes character is defined when you have expectations heaped upon you.
Is it possible for a coach to go through a sophomore slump?
This ain't his second year.
Yeah, it is. Last year was his first year.
Last year was his first year?
Yeah, this is the second year.
Is it possible? I've never heard of a sophomore slump from a coaching standpoint.
It's a valid question, though.
No, it's not a valid question. You should put that on Twitter. You should put a poll on Twitter and label it at First Lady of Sports, at 1ST Lady of Sports. Is it possible for a coach to have a sophomore slump? Put that on Twitter. If I had access to your account, I would put that on Twitter right now, and then I would tag everybody in Cleveland. So,
Shakeback media account. You do it. Put on the Shakeback for me. You know I got a ton of followers like that. I need to get more followers.
Well, we could work on that, but we gonna talk about that later. So no, because if a coach has a sophomore slump, then that means the whole team will have a sophomore slump. But that can't happen because everybody on the team is not in their second year.
Yeah, but look at them. They acting like it is.
Well, acting and being ain't the same thing. That's why they spell different.
Yeah, I know. I know, but you look at the offense, how much it's regressed. Yesterday was the first time they scored 17 points and, outside of Cincinnati in maybe the past, 6 games or whatever. And then it still wasn't enough.
Okay, so let me ask you another question then, since we're talking about the offense, because as I just looked at it, or as I remember, the Browns are still 7-6 and still have everything completely out in front of them.
Yes.
The offense has been what the offense has been for the last 4 weeks or so. Which offense? Now, I don't know how much you've been paying attention to the Dallas Cowboys offense, but they're pretty stout on that side of the ball. Dak Prescott at quarterback, Pollard at running back, although he has a torn plantar fascia in his foot, so he didn't play in the game against the Washington football team. I don't know what the heck is going on with Zeke. I think Zeke is burned. I think he's burned. Amari Cooper, Michael Gallup, CeeDee Lamb, Dalton Schultz, and that offensive line. And they've been struggling on offense for the last 4 or 5 weeks. But who would you put? Number one, who would you put more faith in? Cleveland's offense to get it together, or the Cowboys offense to get it together?
Cowboys. I like Dak Prescott better as a quarterback than I do Baker Mayfield. He's a better leader and a better quarterback. Okay,
but Dak is injured. I don't care what they say coming out of Valley Ranch. Dak is hurt. He's injured. One thing that Dak has been really, really good at in his career, that was questioned, was his accuracy. I mean, I know he's probably at 69% for his completion percentage this year, but for them to have as much talent on that side of the ball as they do, they should not be struggling like this. And I think that for the Cowboys, as a play caller, I have more faith in Stefanski than I do in Kellen Moore, who's the offensive coordinator in Dallas. Yes, I said it. Because Kellen Moore, although he is bright and ingenious and he has all these different toys out there, that dude sometimes, man, I don't know. I know Cowboy, because they've said it, and I've seen it on Twitter and Facebook and all this other stuff. What WTF is Kellen Moore doing? Our play calling sucks. That happens a lot down here. So as a from a play calling standpoint, I have the check mark in the box for Kevin Stefanski over Kellen Moore.
I'm
telling you.
You know what? We gotta go to break. It's time. That's our time, 6:30. But yeah, I'm kind of stunned right now. So we will be right back. You're listening to Her in the Huddle on WOVU at 95.9 FM. We'll be right back.
Got a lot of more.
United are about to bring you a crystal clear sound on our terrestrial frequency. Matter of fact, you're going to have to turn your volume down. 100% stereo, bass knocking in your speakers, rocking music all day long with the WOVU website and the app. The upgrade is going to 192,000 bits.
Baby, explain to me again how clear that is.
It's like going from HD to 4K.
I wonder.
It's going to be clearer than your mama calling your name when the street lights come on.
Ooh. Like that.
And we got some new sounds coming your way with the same great content we've been having. That good Cleveland music, that good inspiration, that good informative community information that we have for everybody out there. So check us out with the new sounds. WOVU 95.9 FM, BBC Community Radio.
Welcome back to Her in the Huddle with Rachel Hill, the First Lady of Sports.
All right, welcome back to Her in the Huddle, WOVU at 95.9 FM. This is your girl, Rachel Hill, the First Lady of Sports. I am here with Willie Epting Jr. Willie, what's up with you?
Man, I am so very excited.
What you excited for?
Because tonight on the Warzone Sports Network, the Balls Report, I have two very amazing women coming on to talk about their project that I will be producing as part of the Shakeback Media Group. One of these ladies is connected to a very well-known NFL superstar. So check us out, 7 o'clock Central Time, 8 o'clock Eastern Time on YouTube as well as Twitter. Search Shakeback Sports or Shakeback Media Group on YouTube as well as Twitter. You can watch it live there.
And what time is that for us Eastern Standard?
8 o'clock Central or 8 o'clock Eastern, 7 o'clock Central.
All right. So Lamar Jackson has an ankle sprain. Willie, how much do you think that's going to impact them against who they play, the Green Bay Packers on Sunday?
If I were the Ravens, I probably wouldn't even play them. I'm gonna tell you why.
You think they can win with Tyler Huntley?
No, I don't think they can win with either one of them, especially if especially if he's so silly. Especially if Lamar does play, he can't run. And we all know that is his strong suit. Mm-hmm. So unless he throws a lot of short passes, who is he going to throw them to that can actually get a whole bunch of yards after the catch? Sammy Watkins? No. Hollywood Brown? He'll probably drop it. Mark, look, a team that features your tight end as your most explosive and consistent player, you're not gonna go that far. I'm sorry. I love Lamar.
That's the Cleveland Browns. David Njoku is our receiver, our number one receiver.
Yeah, but the difference between that and the Ravens is that the Browns have had that personnel on the team. It's been this way with the Ravens since Lamar's been there. So yeah, we expect big things out of Lamar Jackson, but how far can they really go if Mark Andrews, you can't have Mark Andrews, who's not one of those tight ends like Darren Waller, who's not one of those tight ends like Travis Kelce. He's not a tight end like even Njoku with speed. He doesn't have enough speed to be considered. I'm gonna put it to you like this. You remember back in the day when Jimmy Graham was playing for the New Orleans Saints, mm-hmm. and he was lobbying to get a contract worthy of wide receiver money? Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's the kind of tight end you have to have if that's going to be your number one and most explosive person that can catch the ball. Baltimore is not going anywhere. They're not. Their running game is very, very suspect. Their defense, okay, Marlon Humphrey and Marcus Peters are both out for the season. They ain't going nowhere. So they can play them if they want to. It ain't gonna matter.
Yeah, I mean that's a great point that you bring up. Who else Baltimore got left? Because as we move throughout the division, you
got
know,
Pittsburgh left too in Cincinnati, right?
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's who all they got left.
that's what I'm thinking.
Look, we can look it up. Google,
Google's my friend. Yes,
right now it's about to be. If I learn how to spell Baltimore. So they have the Bengals left after they take on the Packers. They have the Rams January 2nd. So that could be a winnable game for them, but
no,
probably
not
not.
Rams. Not against the Rams. Did you see what the Rams? I mean, I shouldn't say
the Cardinals last night.
Did to the Cardinals, but look, Matthew Stafford is making throws that he's always made in Detroit. But since he was in Detroit, nobody was really tripping. Did you see that touchdown pass to Cooper Kupp?
No, I did not.
Oh my God.
I saw the touchdown pass to OBJ.
Yeah, but
the Cavs was on last night.
Yeah, that one. Yeah, they were, and we need to get to them too because I like them. But Cooper Kupp, that pass that he caught. Oh my! I mean, the pass that Matt Stafford threw was ridiculous. Ridiculous. I mean, it was better than the throw that he made to Van Jefferson on that long touchdown.
They said that he made some throws that nobody in the league could make.
Exactly.
Why don't you think it worked in Detroit?
Because it's a lot like it is in most places. You don't have the people around him. Now, when Calvin Johnson was there, they had Calvin Johnson. They had Kenny Galladay, if I'm not mistaken. Galladay was there. I want to say Golden Tate was there before he was in Seattle. And then they never had a consistent enough running game. And then their defense was always terrible. And that playoff game where they played Dallas here in Dallas, they got screwed on that one play, pass interference that was not called. That they actually should have won that game. But to answer your question, they never had enough around him for us to be able to really see how really good that dude really is.
Mm-hmm. And now he got some great receivers, and now you see him balling out in the Rams, being the Rams right now. So that's who they have left. The Cleveland Browns, we have y'all, we have the Packers, we have Cincinnati, and we have Pittsburgh left. So the Browns win 3 out of 4, or 3 out of 3 now, because this was just week 13. So what? Yeah, so that's 3 games, right? 3 games left. My math, right? Yeah, so if we can win 2 out of 3, we still got a chance to make it. Cincinnati, who does Cincinnati have left? Cincinnati, because I know you want to get to the Cavs. Cincinnati Bengals schedule. And right now they are looking terrible. They at 7-6 when they started out really hot. So they have the Ravens, they have the Broncos left on Sunday. Then they have the Ravens, they have the Chiefs, and then they have us left. So we can look. January 2nd is when they play the Chiefs. They not gonna win that game. Could they win against the Ravens? Quite possibly with Lamar out, and that's a must-win game for the Browns. So, and then Pittsburgh Steelers. Let's go back right quick. Who's the Steelers? And
they've got the Browns left too, right?
The Steelers?
Yeah.
Yep, they got us left.
And they have also the Ravens too.
Yep. I think
because these last 4 weeks are all division games.
Yeah, why is it like that? Is it normally like that?
It needs to be like that because
I don't like that. Just spread it out.
Nah, I mean, because you want those games to matter the most at the end of the look. NFL know what they're doing. That's going to drive ratings up out the roof because the Cowboys have left. They have the Giants. They have the football team again, and then they have Philly. But in between all of that, they have the Cardinals at home. The Cardinals ran over them last year. And the way that offense is playing right now, they better get it right because Kyler Murray and them are going to come in here and score some points.
Yeah, that's for sure. So the Steelers have the Titans left this Sunday. They have the Chiefs December 26th. Then they have the Browns January 3rd. That's Monday Night Football, and then they have the Ravens at the last game of the season off of a short week. So yeah, the Browns are in position to win this division at this point. If you can count on Baltimore tanking a little bit because of Lamar's injury and Lamar not being able to be Lamar, that puts us in contention to be able to win division, something we haven't did in over the past 30 years. So that's a possibility.
So let me ask this question then. And I know we got to go to break here in a minute. Let me ask this question. Cincinnati, Cleveland, Baltimore, or Pittsburgh, with all of them being jumbled in that division, with the Steelers being at what 6-1, right? And the leading team is 8-5, right? So with that being said, and all four teams really a real shot at winning this division, can I tell you who I will go with that's going to win this thing right now?
Yes.
It's going to be Cincinnati. I'm going to tell you why. They have the best quarterback. They have the best running game, or they have the best running back. They have the two most dynamic receivers in the division. And they have a defense that is playing better than everybody expected, particularly on that back end. Cincinnati's going to win this division.
That's a bold prediction, but I'm going to disagree. I'm going to say it's going to be the Browns who's going to win the division. Because they'll probably be able to beat the Broncos, I'm sure. They ain't going to be able to beat the Ravens, I don't think. Lamar just has some magic against the lower team tiers of the AFC North, which is us in Cincinnati. They're not going to be able to beat the Chiefs. And then they're not going to beat us at home. We're a matchup problem for Cincinnati for whatever reason. I don't know what it is, but we match up fairly well against them, and I think we're going to go ahead and sweep that season series with them. So I can't call it, but I think the Browns are going to win the division.
Look at my face.
I know. Our quarterback play leaves a lot to desire. But, if we can turn to this running game and figure out an identity and play Browns football, play like a Brown today. Who said it? It was just that, play like a Jet today.
Don't play like the Jet.
I know, right? But I do think that the Browns will win this division. If all you need is a team to get hot at the right time, right?
Yeah, but of these four teams, of what we've seen so far this year,
the Browns got the easier schedule.
I understand that, but the question is, can any team can get hot, right? But as of what we have seen so far this year, out of these four teams, who would you have the most confidence in getting hot these last 5 games or 4 games of the year?
Probably Cincinnati, but you can never trust them.
You can trust Cleveland?
To a certain extent, yeah.
You can trust Pittsburgh right now?
To a certain extent, you can't trust Cleveland. You can trust them to mess it up, that's for sure.
That's a homer talking to you right there.
I don't know. It'll be interesting, Willie. As we watch down the stretch and watch what happens, only time will tell. But the Cleveland Browns are fighting for their playoff lives, and so is Cincinnati too. They have a continuous history of being very good and not being able to pull it out and in and win that first playoff game. So we'll see. Are there any residual effects within that organization of being able to do that? They was the only team in the division last year who did not make the playoffs. So we'll see what happens. That's why you play the game.
And they could very well be the only team in the division that makes the playoffs this year. Because it ain't gonna be possibility. It's not going to be 2 teams coming out of that division this year.
Yeah, I don't think so either.
So there you have it.
So you thinking? You said no more than 2?
No more than 1.
Okay. What about Baltimore? So you just done on Baltimore completely?
they've look, the injuries that they've had this year and that ankle sprain. I don't care what they say. I don't care what they tell us. You ain't coming back from an ankle sprain after 1 week and gonna be as effective as you were up until you sprained your ankle. That ain't happening.
Yeah, because when I saw him get carted off, I'm like, that's not good.
Yeah,
You know, because I love Lamar. You know,
So-
that's my favorite player.
So here they go. Well, it's not a high ankle sprain. Duh. Okay.
I could have. I really could have. I wish I was watching on TV at the time, you know, to see what the commentators were saying and stuff like that when they was carting them off. Because usually when you cart somebody off, their season is done. You know, so you know it'll be interesting to see what happens with his season from here on out. But normally they do it for the rest of the year. So it's amazing that he's gonna give it a go against Green Bay. But when we come back, we're talking about the Cleveland Cavaliers right now, who are kicking everybody's butt and taking names. We'll be right back. You're listening to Her and the Huddle on WOVU 95.9 FM. We'll be right back.
You know that COVID-19 long haulers make up 30% of all people infected by COVID?
What's a COVID long hauler?
People referred to as long haulers have a condition called COVID-19 syndrome or long COVID.
How do you know if you're a long hauler?
Long haulers are people who have COVID-19 and have had it for weeks or even months without fully recovering. Some long haulers experience continuous symptoms, while others recover for weeks at a time and then relapse with new and or old symptoms.
What are the symptoms?
The most common long hauler symptoms include coughing, ongoing fatigue, body aches, joint pain, shortness of breath, loss of taste and smell, difficulty sleeping, headaches, and brain fog. For more information about long COVID, go to wovu.org. This message is brought to you by WOVU 95.9 FM, Burtonville Carr Community Radio.
Welcome back to Her in the Huddle with Rachel Hill, the First Lady of Sports.
All right, welcome back to Her in the Huddle, WOVU 95.9 FM. This is your girl, Rachel Hill, the First Lady of Sports, and I am here with Mr. Willie Epting Jr. And we're going to talk about some Cleveland Cavaliers action right now. The Cleveland Cavaliers sit at, I just had the record up, I believe 17-12. They are one of the best teams in the league right now, and it looks like they welcome the Houston Rockets, who I believe are on a 6-game winning streak. They welcome them into Cleveland tomorrow to go ahead and an invitation to whoop another team. So that's probably what's going to happen tomorrow. The Cleveland Cavaliers are hot. They are playing well. You're seeing Darius Garland be a leader on this team. Quietly, you see him developing into a superstar. And Steph Curry, reached out to him. I want to be a fly on the wall that night after the game took place with Golden State and the Cleveland Cavaliers, who were winning the whole time, and Golden State, connected towards the end and beat us. But I really wonder what Steph Curry said to Darius Garland. Willie, do you think that Darius Garland is slowly becoming a superstar in this league?
Definitely trending in that direction, Rachel. I mean,
do you think he ain't here yet because he in Cleveland?
Nah, I mean, your play is your play. It doesn't matter if you're playing in Cleveland or if you're playing in Pakistan. Hold on a second. Oh, my mic came. Ooh, we almost had a blowout. Excuse me.
So country. Woo,
what?
I say so country. Woo wee.
Oh, really? Okay,
Yeah.
I got something for you. But I think that dude is definitely trending in the right direction. I think also for Cleveland Cavs faithful, probably did not expect to be in this position or anywhere close to this position. Number one, without LeBron James, and then number two, with Coach Bickerstaff as the head coach. Probably didn't expect that to be in this situation. And they beat a good team last night in the Miami Heat. That's their second victory against the Heat this year.
Mm-hmm.
So
they blew them out on their home court.
Yeah, and of course the Heat were without some players, and they're still without Bam Adebayo. He's gonna be out for a while. But the thing is,
Jimmy Butler wasn't playing either.
Yeah, so that is one of those things where we're going to look at in April and say, well, the Cavs, they did take the series from Miami, but it's going to have an asterisk by it because of those guys that didn't play because they were injured. But that's not going to and I don't say that to downgrade or downplay or anything like that for what the Cavs have been doing, because you can only play against the people that's in front of you. And for a young squad like this, all that's going to do is just build their confidence that much more with each passing game like that.
Well, they welcome Houston into town on Wednesday, so that game will be very interesting as well, because I think the Houston Rockets are on a 6-game winning streak.
The Houston Rockets have a winning streak?
Yeah. I'm trying to look it up right now. Look at.
They only got like 3 wins all year.
Oh, 1-game winning streak.
It's like about to say.
Who on the 6-game winning streak that we're supposed to play?
Who's the next few games?
Hold on. Here's the schedule. Go ahead. Hold on, let me get to that. But yeah, somebody else was doing good, so I guess okay, we'll go ahead and beat Houston then. So I'll take that.
So check this out. James Harden is now in COVID protocol.
Oh, really?
The Nets now have 7 players on the COVID protocol list. 7.
Oh my gosh.
How can you play a game with 7 players out?
They need to do something about that. I don't think that's right. I don't think that's fair.
Well, I mean, they play in the same league as everybody else. And think about it. And think about it like this too. I mean, New York does have a citywide mandate for the vaccination.
Mm-hmm.
How are these dudes getting COVID?
Mm-hmm.
How are they? I mean, seriously, how are they getting COVID? I mean, I shouldn't say how are they getting COVID, because we know that even with the vaccine, you can still get it. Maybe it's a close contact thing. Who knows? But that is where, I mean, it just seems like to me that with this new variant, this COVID situation is not going to get better anytime soon. It's actually going backwards again. So that should lead into what you also had on the list, is about Kyrie Irving. And now, with his team that he is responsible for assembling to a certain degree, they need him out now more than ever. Now, the report was what? He's contemplating, or that he may be back sooner than possibly expected because of some conversations that he's had with Kevin Durant.
Mm-hmm.
I would love to be a fly on the wall for that conversation.
He probably told him get the shot. And he probably said, I'm thinking about it. Because I'm sorry, $17 million. And I think he's making more than that, but that's at the minimum that he's staying to lose. I'm a Capricorn. It wouldn't be me, man. I'm just saying.
Yeah, well,
I ain't losing out on no money.
I don't care what sign you are, Aquarius, Capricorn, Aries.
Well, first of all, Capricorns are the best. So let's get that right, because there's only one sign that ends the year for you and brings the new year in. And God saw fit that's that sign that could do that and have that. I don't like the way your head rolling. The God saw fit that only one sign had the strength to hold it up and take it out, and that was Capricorn. So
I don't care about none of that. This dude makes $39 million a year. The only sign you need to be worried about is where is the vaccination sign so I can get my shot.
Did you ever see that video about Antoine and Popeyes when he walked into the Popeyes in Philly? And she was, it was, I don't think it might have been fake, but she walked up to the girl and was like, "You were trying to get my boyfriend's number." And the manager was there, and she was like, "I don't care about you. I don't care about Antoine. I don't care about none of that." That's what you just sounded. That's how you just sounded. I don't care about none of that.
Yeah, you better look for the enter and exit sign to a vaccination clinic.
Yeah, I'm still trying to find the Cleveland Cavaliers. You know what? I got another way to find it here, so I can tell you some of the games that they got coming up. All right.
And while you do that, can we just give a shout out to Steph Curry because he's about to break this record, this 3-point record in
Man, forget
basketball.
Steph Curry. I ain't giving him nothing.
Oh, okay.
Forget Steph. Okay, so they play Houston. They play Milwaukee again in Milwaukee. They play Atlanta in Atlanta back to back, and Milwaukee and Atlanta. So Saturday, Sunday back to back. Then on the 22nd, they play Boston. Then on the 26th, my birthday, they play Toronto.
When's your birthday?
December 26th.
Oh, I didn't know that.
After Christmas. Yeah, you'll see on Facebook.
Yeah.
When you get people's birthdays, that'll be mine to be there. Say I'm 20 years old. Yeah, so that could be tough. That could be a challenge. But they hung with them in the last game. You know, obviously, you know they had some home cooking when it came to Milwaukee. They beat Atlanta already, so I think the outlook is good on the next few games. But that's tough. A back-to-back Milwaukee and Atlanta. That's tough on the road.
At home or at Milwaukee and then at Atlanta.
Yeah, Milwaukee, Atlanta, and then Boston.
Oh.
And then they come home for one game, Toronto, and then they go back on the road to face the Pelicans and then Washington, and then they come back and face Atlanta at home, and that's it for the rest of the year right there. So
that's going to be a barometer a little bit.
Yeah, 5 home games and three home and 5 away games.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So I think it's a good challenge though.
That's going to be a barometer.
Yeah.
I think the Pelicans, who are really just, I don't know what to say about the Pelicans. I mean, Zion Williamson had another setback in his rehab. I think it's too early for us to confirm this, but I have my opinion on it. And my opinion is that based on everything that was expected out of Zion Williamson, he's going to be a version of a bust. It's going to happen. I said it.
Okay. Well, I mean, yeah, he got to stay healthy to be able to play and be in shape and stuff like that. It's sad because there's a lot of talent there. And if he can't stay on the field, then that's going to be a problem.
Yeah, it'd be tough staying on the field when he plays basketball.
You know what I mean. Shut up. you know, shut up, Willie. You know?
You can't tell me to shut up on a talk show.
You know what I mean. The audience know what I mean.
Well,
yeah.
I guess with that being said, I just don't. I mean, I didn't think he was going to be what people thought he was going to be coming out of Duke anyway. I just didn't. I just had a feeling about it, and we'll see.
We will definitely see. But what's your so we can talk more about predictions tomorrow. We got 2 minutes left.
We got some comments.
Oh, can you read them all?
Yeah, we got some more comments. Let's see. Let's back up. George B. He agrees with you in regard to having a sophomore slump. He says, sure, a coach can have a sophomore slump and then it's ... You could also be fired with a winning record. Ask Marty Schottenheimer, the late great Marty Schottenheimer, when he was fired with a winning record. I think they won 14 games and then he was fired the next year. Jim Caldwell with the Detroit Lions, he was fired with the winning record. So yeah, but I don't know. Okay, and then he also says in scheduling, the NFL makes the last week of the season against division teams across the league. This practice has been done for a time. Yeah, that's true. But we're talking about these last 4 weeks where you have seemingly back-to-back division games. And then brand charity. I don't know what this is. It's a lowercase v and a lowercase o and a yeah. Okay. So that's it.
Okay. All right. Well, we about to get out of here. You've been listening to Her in the Huddle. Make sure you listen to Willie tonight on the Shape Back Sports Show. You've been listening to Her in the Huddle, WOVU at 95.9 FM, and we are out of here. All right, I'll holler at you. I'll try to be listening tonight.
Okay.
I'm going home and going to sleep for a little bit though.
Okay.
All right. Hopefully,
All right.
I'll go with my damn self.
And I know, right?
All
right,
right.
later, y'all.
Later. Bye.